this is Seth from BJJGearJunkie.com. Today with another gear review. We have the much anticipated Ground Control. This is the Resistance model, okay? There's a bunch out now, the GI, the Ninja, the Miami. Okay, so this is my first ground control that I've owned, and let's start with the talking points first. I suppose we can get off to the pants here in a second. So, okay. We'll go fit, durability, and then we'll kind of talk about the cool factor and the value if I can wrap it up. If not, make sure you check out the written review because all the details will be there for sure. Alright, so first of all, the fit. I got an A1 here. I'm 5'7", about 160 pounds. I have really short, stumpy T-Rex arms too. I say that in every video. I'm dead serious. The sleeves on this fit great, so that was nice. The length and the how it wrapped around me fit good, so I had no complaints on that either. And also the pants fit me well. So the fit, the A1 for me at 5'7", 160 pounds with short stumpy arms was great. Let's talk about durability a little bit. The collar, it's a nice foam collar there. I would say it's about medium firmness, so I have no complaints on that. That's good, you know. The durability on it is so far so good. This is a cotton pearl weave, all right, so it's really light for one thing, and it's nice and soft, which is pretty cool for a pearl weave. I have seen like my Manto Evo 2.0, that's a cotton pearl weave, and it does get scuffed up a little bit, but looking this over, this one seems to be holding up pretty well, so that's good. One thing I guess I can talk about it now is this is a really light gi, okay? And I think it has to do with the material they used. It is a 350 gram pearl weave too, so it's a pretty light fabric, okay? One thing I would kind of say with this fabric and how soft it is and how thin it is, of course it's thin because it needs to be light, okay? I get that. But whenever you have like a really soft, thin gi, it's really easy to manipulate, okay, and just kind of wrap you up in this type of stuff. I have a Breakpoint Acai gi, and that one's the same way. If I can ever get that review out, it's the same way. It's so thin, it's kind of easily manipulated, okay? But saying that, since it is so lightweight and everything, it's a really great competition gi, and it's also a nice travel gi, all right? I did some traveling recently, and my girlfriend was helping me test this model out, so she took it, you know, on the plane and everything, and since it is so light and it is pretty thin, it travels really nice. You know, you can wrap everything up in a nice snug little package and, you know, stick it in your carry-on so you don't lose it. So that's definitely a plus when we talk about that. Now, that said, this is really light, and one of the things that always throws me off when I pick up a light gi is I kind of say, where did my money go exactly? You know, like this right here is around $135. I think they do offer free shipping. So let's say, you know, it's over the $100 mark by enough that I can't say this is, you know, a starter level gi, an entry level gi, okay? And it's approaching the 150 mark, so it's kind of a mid-level gi, okay? So that means it's going to go up against a lot of other pretty heavy hitters for the mid-level, okay? So when I pick this up, and I think to myself, where did my $135 go exactly? Because I know that it's not really in the material because there's not a lot of material here, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of wrestle with that a little bit. So that said, I think this would be an out-of-the-park home run if it was a little bit closer towards the 100 mark, like maybe 100 to 110, like somewhere in there, okay? I just think it's a tiny bit too close to that mid-level for me to compare it against some of the heavy hitters, all right? But then again, I mean, it kind of goes down to kind of a weird analogy, but when polymer frame pistols started coming out, everybody thought that it felt like a toy, you know, because it didn't have the heft to it like a steel revolver or whatever. You know, and it's proven that those guns are just as good as the steel frame guns, okay? So maybe it's the same. Maybe I'm just not used to having really, really light gis and are used to a little heft to them. That's fine. That might just be my personal thing, but that's kind of the thoughts when I first picked this gi up. I had some conflicts. I was like, man, I don't know, like for the price, what does this give me? But then I rolled in it, and one other concern that I had was with these really light ones, I was afraid that it would stretch. It would stretch out at the end of a roll, people tugging on it, and not really keep its form and end up fitting more like an A2 at the end of rolls. And it doesn't do that, okay? So that's a positive for me, and I was kind of, I was happy to see that it wasn't like that, because at first I was like, yeah, for sure, this is gonna stretch out, but it didn't. It kept its weight, so that's good, all right? Kept its form. So, as you can see, you got the ground control down here with the resistance. It's got some embroidery here, and got the ground control down there. Let's flip it over, look at the back. Pretty standard stuff. Okay, so we have a little ground control logo here, and we do not have a seam, so that's awesome. So, pretty much any gi nowadays, I don't think is, you know, if they're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gi, they're not going to have that seam up there. So kind of let's look at the inside here. Pretty decent stitch job here. This is a nice reinforced piece. I do kind of like how they did the triangle thing just to kind of shape it more to that. Nice bottom there. And I will get close-ups of this guy, so check out the written review. I'll roll in some pictures too. It's got ripstop here, so that's cool. So, I mean, overall, it looks like it's a durable gi, so don't get me wrong. I haven't had any problems with that so far. Let's look at the pants. Okay, I hated these pants when I first tried them on, okay? I really, really hated them. And one of the reasons is because they are ripstop, right, 10-ounce ripstop. They were so unbelievably waxy for me. Like, I rolled in them after the first wash, and at the end, I sweat a lot anyways, but at the end it felt like they were literally clinging to me and making noises like a wet flip-flop, all right? So I was like, man, screw these pants, they suck. But after a couple washes, all right, now they're more like my Atamas, all right, my Atama Mundials, all right? They're not really, really, really waxy anymore, okay? They're more feeling like actual cloth. So they do come really waxy, right? But they will break in, okay? So I can't hold it against them, you know, for being waxy at first. So I was pleased to see that they made that transition, and now I don't mind wearing them, all right? They do have the nice D-top material insert in the crotch, which is a plus. Like I said, in I think it was the Zombie Kimono review, I said, make me a nice non-waxy ripstop pants that have the crotch material made out of the gi, and that's a plus, okay? And they did that, so as long as you break them in, you shouldn't have any problems. Now up here, they went with the 4-loop design. One thing to note is this last loop is really far over to the edge, and this is actually pretty nice, because if they didn't have this here, this cord can ride up, okay? It can get kind of hung up in things and come up over the top, right? But this, this loop here, being set so far out towards the side, it really stops that, so that's awesome. They didn't go with bungee, all right? That's kind of one of those things where if I'm paying for $130-something, almost $150 gi, all right, I kind of would like to see the bungee cord. But that's, again, that's just me, all right? So I got a ground control patch here. See, we do have an ID, like wallet pocket here, which is awesome to see. Mine as well, right? And we have the ground control down here. The knees are pretty well reinforced, so that's always nice to see, because a lot of times your pants are really the first thing to go. So there you have it. That's the pants. Let's bring this back over. Do a little recap. Okay, so again, this is a really light gi, so I probably would use it for travel, and I would probably use it for competitions, okay? So that's kind of what this gi is for. Now, in terms of value, I still think it's a little bit high priced. I don't think I can honestly weigh this gi up against some of the other heavy hitters that are in the 150-ish range, which this is 135, so it's kind of approaching that, you know. I think I would like to rather see it just over 100, and this would be a killer. I would recommend these gis to a lot of people for beginner gis, okay, but it just doesn't fit that for me anyways. So Pants come really waxy at first, but they will break in, okay? So just give those a little bit of time, all right? So there you guys have it. This is the ground control resistance gi, and thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, make sure you like us on Facebook, because we do have some contests for gear giveaways going on. Follow us on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much, guys.